Hey guys, Chef Neebs here, and I'm going to show you my take on a classic Fra Diavolo sauce with my own homemade Cappellacci delle Streghe pasta, which is a squid ink little witch's hat. So we're going to start with a couple of cloves of garlic, and I like to slice my garlic lengthwise, not crosswise. And then we're going to do about a medium onion, just a quick rough dice. Then we're going to get that all sweating with some aromatics. Whatever you have on hand is fine. Then we're going to do a big pinch of red pepper flakes. Next, we're going to start breaking down whatever seafood you want. It's really fair game. Here I'm breaking down a little lobster tail. Here's a handful of shrimp. There was a little snow crab at the beginning. I'm really sorry, this is out of focus, by the way. And then we've got a handful of clams, and then a little grouper fillet that I just chunked up a little bit. And all of the trimmings are going into the aromatics to sweat. So next we are going to just sweat it all down and then add a bunch of tomato paste. I'd say about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. And we're going to do what's called a rust, which is just really medium-high heat, really cooking down that tomato paste. Here I've got some San Marzano tomatoes, both in a can and fresh, and I'm going to be adding those guys later. Here I'm adding about a half a cup of white wine, and what I'm doing is I'm deglazing the pan and getting all of those burned bits up off the bottom and letting it come up. So now I'm adding in my canned tomatoes, about a quart of seafood stock, and those fresh tomatoes that we saw earlier. And well, first we're going to season it, some salt, some pepper, and then we're just going to bring it up and let it do a simmer for about an hour. After it's simmered for about an hour, we're going to take it over to a chinois or a china cap or any sort of strainer that you have, and I really want to strain this very finely. It's kind of an homage to my dad, who used to make what he called not chunky tomato sauces for me when I was a kid. I was a really picky eater. So here we have it all strained out, and we're putting it back in the pan to simmer. And when it comes up to a simmer, we're going to add in all of our seafood according to its different cooking times. And then we're going to come back to our cutting board, and we're going to do a quick little, really thin chop on some parsley, and then we're going to start to plate up. It was super easy, right? So here we've got our beautiful Cappellacci delle Streghe, which translates to witches' hats. Again, I'm sorry, it's really out of focus. It gets better, I promise. Then we're going to start placing in, I like to place the seafood first before I go with the broth. And then you can see I go in with the broth, and I kind of bring up the levels a little bit. And then here's that gorgeous lobster tail all fanned out. And we're just cleaning it up. And let's try a bit. And there it is. There is my take on, it's kind of a mix between a cioppino and a Fra Diavola sauce. It's half soup, half sauce, and goes great with that squid ink pasta. And if you want to get your own Cappellacci delle Streghe, head on over to foodjouneves.com. Thanks, guys.